जी दंडवत प्रणाम।
गुणप्रवृत्ता विषयप्रमादाः अधश्च
हरे कृष्ण प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
दंडवत
दंडवत प्रणाम माता जी। हरे कृष्णा।
दंडवत प्रणाम
दंडवत प्रणाम।
दंडवत। हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण। Yes, can we do the opening prayers? Who would like to do the opening prayers? Am I audible?
हरे कृष्णा। Yes, हरे कृष्णा माताजी, can I do?
Yeah, Shilpa Mataji. Yeah, do it.
हरे कृष्णा। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललितान् श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री चैतन्य जय श्री चैतन्य
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य।
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। थैंक यू माता जी। धन्यवाद प्रणाम। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna Pranam. Today we will be seeing second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 30th shloka. Dehi nityam avadhyoyam dehe sarvasya bharata tasmat sarvani bhutani natvam shochitum arhasi. Yes, anybody wants to read the verse, please do.
देहि नित्यं देवी नित्यं महद्योऽहं देहे सर्वस्य भारत तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि।
देहि नित्यम् अबध्योऽयं देहे सर्वस्य भारत तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि न त्वं शोचितुम् अर्हसि। हरे कृष्ण माताजी।
हरे कृष्ण माताजी।
Yeah, please read. Ram Prabhu.
देहि नित्यमवध्योऽयं देहे सर्वस्य भारत तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि। हरे कृष्ण।
देहि नित्यम् अवध्योऽयं देहे सर्वस्य भारत तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि न त्वं शोचितुम् अर्हसि। हरे कृष्ण।
Shall I read, Mataji?
Please read, please read.
देहि नित्यम् अव्यव्योऽयं देहे सर्वस्य भारत तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि नातं शोचितुम् अर्हसि। हरे कृष्ण। हरे
Shall I read,
कृष्ण।
madam?
Yeah.
Shall I read?
हरे कृष्ण माताजी।
Uma Mataji, after that Vishwanathan Prabhu, you can read.
ओके।
Uma Mataji, read.
हरे कृष्ण।
Yes.
देहि नित्यम् अवध्योऽयं देहे सर्वस्य भारत तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि न त्वं शोषितुम् अर्हसि। हरे कृष्ण।
Vishwanathan Prabhu, you read.
देहि नित्य
Nityam. Dehi
नित्यं
nityam avadhyoham.
नित्यम् अवद्योनं देहे सर्वस्य भारत तस्मात्
सर्वेषु
सर्वेषु
सर्वाणि sorry तस्मात्
सर्वाणि भूतानि न
त्वं शोचितुम् अर्हसि अर्हसि अर्हसि
Can I read Mataji?
yeah yes Mataji
देहि नित्यम् अवध्योऽयम् देह सर्वस्य भारत तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि न त्वं शोषितुम् अर्हसि हरे कृष्ण
yes
देहि
yes
नित्यम् अवध्योऽयम् देह सर्वस्य भारत तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि न त्वं शोचितुम् अर्हसि हरे कृष्णा माता
हरे
जी
कृष्ण माताजी देहि
yes
नित्यम् अवध्योऽयम् देहे सर्वस्य भारत तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि न त्वं शोचितुम् अर्हसि थैंक यू माताजी
yes
मैं
now we will
माताजी
yeah please read
देहि नित्यम् अवध्योऽयम् देहे सर्वस्य भारत तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि न त्वं शोषितुम् अर्हसि हरे
yes
कृष्ण
now we can go to word synonyms Dehi, the owner of the material body, Nityam, eternally, Avadhyaha, cannot be killed. I am this soul, Dehe, in the body, Sarvasya, of everyone, Bharata, O descendant of Bharata, Tasmat, therefore, Sarvani, all, Bhutani, living entities that are born, Na, never, Tvam, you, Shochitum, to lament, Arhasi, deserve. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. O descendant of Bharat, he who dwells in the body can never be slain. Therefore, you need not grieve for any living being. So, if you see from 2.11 verse till this verse 2.30, Krishna has spoken about the difference between body and soul. And he has highlighted or rather spoken about all the qualities of the soul, the nature of the soul, the nature of the body, and this 2.30th verse is the conclusion of this entire segment of Sankhya Yoga, with which Krishna defeats the argument of Arjun of compassion. He says he was very compassionate that he has to kill his relatives. For that, Krishna has said that body is destructible, but the soul is never destroyed. Soul is eternal, imperishable. So now, mutable spirit of soul. So Krishna, if you see, we have been going through so many verses in this previous shlokas. He has spoken about the soul in detail. In different ways, he has spoken about it. And he brought out the point that body is temporary, soul eternal. And now he is simply concluding by telling Arjun that he who dwells in the body can never be slain. That means the soul in the body can never be slain. So therefore you need not grieve for any living being. His grief was that he has to kill his relations. So for that he is saying, you don't have to grieve. This is a bad.
Voice is disruptive.
And then Krishna, of course, is
Voice is breaking, Mataji.
Yeah, 1 second. Because I think I'm moving. That's why maybe the voice is kind of, it's not stable. Now can you hear?
Yes,
Is it
Mataji.
audible?
Yes,
Yeah.
Mataji.
Yeah. So after saying this, Lord Krishna, after establishing the permanent nature of soul, he says, Arjun, as a Kshatriya, you don't give up your duty. You are a warrior. And this is a Dharma Yuddham. So you do your duty. And then now we can say that, there is this, there are different philosophies and different beliefs which say that, okay, human being means it's a soul, but animals don't have soul or the plants don't have soul. Do we accept this kind of argument?
No, Mataji, no.
Who kill animals, they gave this reason, saying that animals don't have soul, only humans have soul. But it is not acceptable because Krishna has told the gross bodies which are there, 84 lakh species, they are all having, that is, the jiva only acquires those 84 lakh bodies. So the soul is there, very much there, even if it's a lower species or a higher species. There is, you cannot say that, okay, the lower species means there is no soul. Even in an amoeba, even in a bacteria, if you take even in our stool worm or mosquito, there is a soul. This one also, 1 second, Mataji, this file also. Yeah, that is her document. Take this. And also, if you remember a few shlokas back, we spoke about that the body, if you say it's a combination of gross material elements, it's fine. But how will it be activated? It's only if the soul is there. Otherwise, the body is. And here, that's what Prabhupada writes. On the authority of Sri Krishna, one has to believe that there is a soul different from the material body, not that there is no such thing as soul, or that living symptoms develop at a certain stage of material maturity resulting from the interaction of chemicals. So it is not possible that it's just some chemicals have combined and at a mature stage, the soul will, the body will become active or become alive. It is not like that. From the day one, the soul is there and then only the body develops. And again, Prabhupada writes, though soul is immortal, but it cannot be taken as an encouragement for killing somebody or for a war. Only when there is need. Shastra acknowledges and rather says also of the requirement of violence, but only when it is dharma, it is for the benefit of the society, it is for the upliftment or protection of people or upliftment of people, then only it can be used. Otherwise, so then that need must be justified in terms of the sanction of the Lord. See, one more thing is, we may feel whatever our action, it is justified. We sometimes feel whatever we are doing is right because we are justified. But we have to check from higher authority like Krishna or the Shastra, in the sense what Krishna has spoken in the Shastra, whether it is right or wrong. We should not decide on whatever we are thinking and feeling it is right and wrong. Shastra provides us direction to understand what is right, what is wrong. And based on that, our actions should be based, not on what we think. Prabhupada, that's why, right? Not capriciously. Whatever we feel and know. Because the consequence. Every action will result in some result which may be favorable, which may not be favorable. So this is the conclusion of that section where Krishna has spoken about soul and his defeated compassion. Yes. And then, yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
What are this trees and the plants? They are also having life. But what about they are having soul?
Yes, Prabhu. Life means there is soul in it.
Yes.
If they are having life, if they are growing, if they are, they are decaying, that means there is soul in it, Prabhu. When the soul leaves, then it will be dead plant. Even the plants have dead. Even plants have soul, and that's why they die. I mean, when after a time period, they just wither away.
Yes. Thank
Plant, because they are also living things, but the conscious level of the species is lesser. Like for plants and for animals, the conscious level is very less. Humans, it is the highest, and that too, of course, based on Rajoguna, Tamoguna, and Satoguna. it varies. Otherwise, humans also sometimes behave like animals. That's because of the lower consciousness.
That means except humans, other things are not having gunas. They are not having
No,
gunas.
no. The other. Idama, this one. So, Mataji, the question you asked is the plants are not influenced by gunas. That's what. No, yes, Mataji, they are not under an influence of the gunas. The body of a plant or an animal is acquired as a reward or punishment. Mostly, it is a punishment. When you are in this lower species or even in the plant form of plants and all, it is a punishment body, Mataji.
Okay.
See, the trees and plants, though they grow and they give flowers or fruits, but if you see, they only have to stand in one place and they have to tolerate all kind of weather conditions. And in fact, there are scientific research also shown that plants also have feelings. The kind of vibration they give out when they are in stress or when they are relaxed, when they are nurtured, they have done some experiments to prove that they also exhibit this kind of feelings.
Sometimes animals like wild animals and they also have the emotions and all, which is that based on the gunas?
Animals in gunas?
No, emotions. Sometimes.
Emotions, yes. Dogs and cats, they also reciprocate when there is when they are treated well, and if they are harassed, they reciprocate. Animals also reciprocate.
When the conscious level is increases, that emotion.
Mataji, they can reciprocate, but they cannot choose and do things. See, either they will be happy or they will be angry. See, the animals will have limited responses. See, that's why you see sometimes
tears roll down.
Sometimes you see animals going and biting the owner. Why that happens? Because they cannot decide what is right and wrong. One second, please hold on. Please hold on.
Please explain what is it, because I joined late.
1 second, Mataji, just hold on.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, beautiful. Yes. Mataji, what are you saying?
I was late, Mataji, because of some situation. So please explain what is it. I could not understand.
Mataji, they were asking animals have different gunas or they have feelings. Yes, animals can reciprocate or express limited feelings, not very complex. And animals can have very limited choices. But they are very much unpredictable. Sometimes you see they just we hear that the dog has gone and bitten the owner itself. So they are very, very unpredictable, Mataji. Okay. So it's not like humans.
The verse is about what is in
verse is the conclusion of the entire Sankhya Yoga, Mataji. Whatever Krishna has spoken from 2.11 to 2.29 about the nature of the soul, the permanency of the soul, the eternal quality of the soul and temporariness of the body, he has concluded in this verse saying that soul can never be killed. So Arjun, you don't give up your duty. That is the main thing in this verse, Mataji. He is given the final instruction that you don't give up your duty of fighting. That's all.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
We are not authority to decide anything.
Yes. So our feelings have to be authenticated properly by Shastra or a guru. Sometimes whatever we feel right, maybe we feel right, but not necessarily. We have to authenticate from Shastra or guru as an authority.
According to our wish, we can't act.
No,
we have to follow. No.
Yes.
You have to follow Shastra.
Yes. So why basically Shastra is there, or why basically religion?
Voice is breaking, Mataji.
1 second. 1 second. Now can you hear me?
Yes,
Is
Mataji.
it audible?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. Now, the thing is, why we have to follow principles? Forget about religious principles. Why some rules and regulations are required? Or why religious principles are required? Why?
Discipline.
Okay, then.
See, by following principles, we don't hurt others.
Okay, then
Mataji, to regulate our life,
regulate our life. Then,
at least we come to the human platform.
okay, okay.
Obey our guru, obey our shastras.
For what? What is the end goal of all this?
To avoid the chaos, Mataji.
Self-realization.
Why a regulated life is better?
Purification of our mind.
Purification of our mind.
To maintain Sanatana Dharma.
There will be no commotion, no confusion.
And the purpose of human life.
Yes.
Mataji, to maintain Sanatana Dharma.
Finally, Mataji, to satisfy Lord Krishna.
To satisfy Lord Krishna, okay.
To maintain Sanatana Dharma, Mataji.
Okay, Sanatana Dharma. So the thing is, like, there is this example that we speak of. When an aircraft has to take off, where does it go to take off?
Runway.
Runway. Runway. Why a runway? Why a runway?
Because it has to run and take off.
Pick up speed.
Yes, yes. So, yes. So, but the point is, why the runway example is given is, see, now it has got a path which is direct and clear. See, runway, it knows. It has a very direct, straight, clear path to take off. So our religious principles or any principles in our life give us clarity of the direction, clarity of the path to take up. Then it will enable then we catch speed. That means we will be able to progress. Ultimately, Prabhus and Matajis have given the answer. Some say to serve Krishna, some say to attain perfection. The perfection of human life is to attain the Lord. So for attaining the Lord, if we follow all the principles properly as instructed by the Lord, as instructed by the realized souls, then it's like you are catching speed on a runway and you will take off and you will attain your destination. See, if the aircraft keeps wandering in the field or on other land, why can't the aircraft take off on some land? Why? Maybe it can take off even on a normal land or a grass, but there will be no speed. It has to struggle. So if we don't follow rules and regulations, then there will be impediments in our progress. A runway is a place where everything is clear. So following the instructions of Shastra, of Guru, is that your way is clear for takeoff. So that's why it is important to stick to the instructions of the Supreme Lord and not do things however we want. That is what Prabhupada mentions in the end. Though Arjun was speaking principles like non-violence and not killing relatives, but Krishna is speaking about higher principles.
This is superb explanation, Mataji. This runway explanation is really very good.
Yeah. So Arjun was instructed to fight this battle because at that moment that was very important for Arjun. It is the duty of a Kshatriya. If you see now, next set of conversation will start from tomorrow, whatever verse we will see. 2.31 verse will speak about Karma Kanda. Just we finished Sankhya Yoga. We will be starting Karma Kanda shlokas where Krishna will give explanation to Arjun for his reason of enjoyment at the cost of killing others. He is going to explain that doing your duty is much better than giving up your duty. Yes, anybody has any doubt in this verse?
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes.
The trees, the animals have limited consciousness, but they do have limited emotions. So when you have emotions, do they generate karma?
No. Animal body, there is no karma.
They are only living what they have. I mean, they are reaping what the prarabdha they are living.
That's all. Mataji, karma is there only in the human form, no other form.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Yes.
That is because we have 6 senses, no? Animals have only 5 senses. We have 6
Mataji, we have the independence to choose our actions. We have the capability to acquire the knowledge to make right decisions. But the other species, the animal bodies, they have very limited choices in the sense their thinking capacity, intelligence capacity is not evolved. So they have limited activities to function in that body. That's all.
Okay. Another thing, Mataji, sometimes maybe your friend or very close relative, we know that they are wrong and we wanted to say something, but they don't listen.
Who, Mataji? Voice is not coming.
Hello?
Lalita Mataji, yes.
Yeah, suppose my friend, very close friend, she's doing something wrong. I wanted to say something to her, want to give an advice. But since she's very close friend, maybe she'll feel bad or she'll think she'll be hurted. So I just keep quiet. So how to manage this?
Mataji, if you are really want to make her realize, or maybe you feel she is wrong, very politely you can approach her. Can we talk on this? Will you be open to listen to what I say? It's up to you to whether you want to act on it or not. Can I at least express this to you? If she is ready to listen, you express. Otherwise, you leave it. She says no means no, leave it. Because she is not a small kid, she is an adult and she has the capacity to understand things. So you don't have to tell. If she is open to it, then you express, Mataji.
Oh, that's it. But since I'm telling, because maybe she'll be hurt or she'll get into a big problem, so I need to say her. But
you have to ask her whether this is my opinion. Can I share it with you? If she is okay, then otherwise leave it, Mataji.
So by that I'm doing a bad karma. Is that
no? See, Mataji, you are not responsible for everybody. That is Krishna's responsibility.
Okay.
We are responsible for ourselves and we are responsible from the material point of view for our family, our dependent society, country, but that is limited. Whatever we can do, not out of the way, which is not it's not that, whatever we cannot do, we should not do, Mataji.
Okay, thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
Thanks for the sloka, Mataji. Tulasi leaves collection sloka.
Oh, okay.
Now I want to know one thing. What is the origin of soul, Mataji?
Origin of soul from the it's the part of the Lord. It has come from the Supreme Lord. From the Lord's body, it has come.
And the number of souls in the universe is fixed, or it keeps varying, Mataji?
It keeps changing. It keeps varying.
New souls are also.
Yes. It's possible. It's possible Mataji. They are coming. Yes.
Another question, Mataji. It's a sin to kill living beings.
Yeah.
Likewise, if we destroy some plants, is it also a sin?
Yeah, it will be. Amount of karma will be there, Prabhu.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Yes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. There are no further doubts. We can conclude, and tomorrow we will continue with the new set of shlokas.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji.
Yeah. Yes.
Mataji, please explain Sankhya Yoga. What is that?
Sankhya Yoga is the difference between body and soul. The knowledge of what is the difference between body and soul is Sankhya Yoga, Mataji. Matter and spirit.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yes. Who wants to do the closing prayers?
Shall I do, Mataji?
Yeah, please.
वाञ्छा कल्पतरूपस्य कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्णा।
धन्यवाद प्रणाम माताजी।
Pranam.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
you, Mataji. Dandavat pranam.
Krishna Mataji, Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Dandavat pranam. Hare Krishna.